How will the teams come out of the various pots? We'll find out in due course, but with me here in the studio are two of the ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass regulars, Shaka Hislop and Janusz Mihalik. Shaka, we're hearing talk about the Champions League in time becoming devalued, and I say that because we have 4 English sides in the last 8, and if this becomes a pattern over 3, 4 or 5 years, there might just be the chance that people in other countries will lose interest.
I don't think so. I think this is a fantastic competition that pits the best of Europe together. And once you have that, regardless of what country they all originate from, I think people will watch. I'm always excited to see the next round of Champions League action, as it will, as it comes around. And for me, I can't see this competition losing any value for me, as the spectacle continues to be as exciting as ever.
Do you go along with that, Janusz?
Well, if it loses value, if we're going to have 3 or 4 years of the same teams, I mean, I think it's exciting, but it's exciting to a point. Once you get to final 8, whatever it may be, it is the same team. So I think they're going to have to take a look at it. Once again, I don't think you can, punish anyone. I mean, there was a time where a Spanish team and Serie A teams dominated, and English teams couldn't be there. So, it bodes well for England, and I suppose they'll be happy. And it's the job of, in Serie A and La Liga to make sure that they have better teams that can compete on that level. How many teams can compete on that level? I'm not so sure.
But without introducing things like 6+5, without levelling the playing field like that, what can be done by UEFA?
Yeah, I think that is important, but that may be important for other reasons. I think, when you introduce something like this, it's purely, for the native players to have a place to play. And I think that is important because you lose identity. I mean, I think anyone would like to see, their players to play in big competitions like this, players that grew up with the club, maybe grew up next door to you. I think that is important if you look at Stevie Gerrard and Jeremy Carragher. But, at this point, I think everybody has to spend a little bit more money to keep up with the likes of Liverpool, United, and Chelsea. All
right, before we wrap up, Shaka, give me one tie you'd like to see in the quarterfinals.
I'd like to see Chelsea against Barcelona. I think that would be a wonderful tie. 2 very different teams, 2 very talented teams with such different styles. I think that if those 2 come out together, it'd be a pick of the round for me.
Janusz?
Of course, it'll be. I promise you, that's the way it's going to be. Liverpool against United.
You really think so?
I really think so.
The Battle of Northwest England in the UEFA Champions League.